The first days were about finding our start. Now momentum is kicking in. Events, challenges, and connections are stacking fast. In this episode, we will show you how small steps snowball into big wins when you are building an elite social circle in New York. But first of all, don't wonder why we are in a different city, not in a fancy park, not in a not in a fancy location. I'm at home at home in New York. Jordan, he's on a secret mission. Where?
Oh, I am
Yeah.
on a secret mission. I'm in Ventura Beach, California. I'm actually recording courses for one of my clients, a Microsoft Excel course, which is really my day job.
But don't worry, he's coming back to New York. He's just here for a little trip. And yeah, but the social circle New York mission doesn't stop here. So he just went there on Monday. Last week was a very interesting one. It was all about building momentum. We also did a 3-day challenge with some guys, helping them to start their social circle kickstart. How do you say kickstart
Yeah,
in
you got it.
in New York to get started. Yeah, helping them with their goals and vision, then teaching them about magnetic communication, and then actually going out and apply some of these concepts in real life. And this was on last Friday. We had a lot of fun. Uh, how many guys were we? Uh, I
I
don't
don't know,
remember the number actually.
eight,
Seven
eight or
something.
nine. Yeah, we had quite a few.
Yeah, yeah. We had quite a few, quite a cool group.
Hmm.
And I think we gave them a 5-star Michelin experience. Or what, what do you
Yes,
think?
I think so. I think everyone walked away. I think that my favorite part about this is people came in with one level and they walked out at a greater level. Every single person said so. And it really was just because they put in the work.
Yeah. And it was like a giving structure. We just to explain a little bit. So the whole experience was to work on the magnetic communication, and we gave them a structure to follow. So different things what you can do when you go out there to meet people, the way you approach people with the right body language, the right tone of voice, helping them to go over the fear of talking to new people. It was not only girls, it were guys, just to start the social circle, because many of these guys, they don't go out a lot, or when they go out they go alone, or maybe just with one or two friends, and they don't have like a big social circle. And we are already here for 3 weeks now, almost, oh, for 3 weeks now today. And we already did a lot of, we went out a lot, we made a lot of connections, and some of these guys actually went to one of our networking events and now joined us for the challenge. And yeah, we had a great night. First of all, we went to our one of the favorite spots that we are selecting. I think would say it's one of our hotspots, Mr. Purple in
Yep.
Manhattan. It became one of our hotspots, and that where we go over and over. We know the place. We know basically every corner. And that's where we took the guys to, so in a familiar environment for us, so we could be easier for them to give them a great experience. And then we went around the neighborhood, went to different bars, talked to people on the streets. Is there any, let's say, big or has there been happened something very special that you want to share with us
Very
from Friday
special.
night?
The thing is,
Yeah,
like, for me, I was just on. So I went from being the person who was too shy to just talk to a group, to being a person who talked to so many groups. And it was so much easier than I expected. There was this moment where we went for a snack. So we were just kind of taking a small break, went for a snack to get the energy back up. And
yeah,
this girl just started chatting with me in the store. Someone else was like, "Well, what'd you say to her?" I was like, "I said nothing." So to me, that just tells me I was on. I had the magnetism that draws people in, and I met a lot of great people. So it wasn't just women. We talked to everyone. There was this band that invited us to watch their set for free. Unfortunately, we were hopping to different places, but it just shows you the value of just opening people up
yeah.
and being warm and friendly. So I just felt like that night there was a lot of like gravitational force around what I was trying to do. And I suppose the most magical part was just at the end of the evening, everyone just felt like they accomplished something.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree, and especially we met some of the guys that, yeah, one or two of them hardly go out and hardly talk to any strangers since they're in the city. So this was kind of very, very interesting to see when they put in the work, took action, what they can actually realize in a short amount of time. And like you're saying, if you talk to somebody and you get invited at the same night, yeah, that's like the social circle playbook in half an hour, I would say, because that's what you go out. You go out, make these connections, and then at some point, people invite you out to cool things, and that's actually happens. And this only happens if you take action. So, and of course, consistency here beats intensity. Small actions stacked, and then of course, in this case, it was very fast. But if you do it on a daily basis, this creates daily social gravity. And I also had like one cool moment with one of the guys. We were in the bar. I think it was in Mr. Purple, and he was like, when we started out, he was like super shy, even approaching the people. And then after putting him into 3-4 conversations, he just went up there and chatted up different groups and had a conversation. So this was really, really cool moment, and I think he will learn a lot from him. If he sees this, he will remember the situation, and that what it just takes sometimes. And from my side, I had a lot of fun coaching these guys, seeing how they can improve in this short period of time. And yeah, we had just a great time, and we ended the night with a big pizza gathering at 2 a.m. in the morning at our let's say, is it our favorite pizza night spot in East Village. Yeah, it's a special one. So, and remember the name of the owner, or the
Yes,
pizza guy.
Frank. Yep, Frank. I'm just like, what's up, boss?
Yeah,
What's up, Frank?
yeah, Frank. So yeah, so that's
And
one part of social circles. So if you go to places over and over,
it's true. And I want to say too, like, we're out there for practice. This is not like us trying to score dates. This isn't us trying to do pickup, all right? It's just that area in New York has a lot of people going out, and they're very warm, right? They're very ready to chat with you. So it really doesn't matter, although what we're trying to do in part is help men find the kind of women that they want in their lives. Going out to the East Village on a Friday night isn't necessarily going to be the place where you find her, right? But what it is going to be is it's going to take those skills that you need to develop and give you the place to do reps in a way that's fun. It's like going to the gym and, like, maybe you start a program, you're not so sure, you're looking around, who's looking at you, and by the end of it, you've sweat a lot, you feel really good, and you make friends with the people around you. So that's all it really is. It's not we're not here teaching them like there was no expectation, as it were, to like find a date later in life or any of that. And I think that that's what makes it so great, because you can go out without expectation, and once you let that go, you're really free to get into the flow where that anxiety of approaching people wears off, and you can just have fun, and people are happy that you talk to them. And just like for people watching this who are not used to this, the other side of this is the people you meet out at bars late at night, like, many of them won't remember you the next day, which is a little sad. When you talk to them for a few minutes and you get an Instagram, some of them will. But the point here isn't to necessarily increase your friend group by bringing women into the funnel, or to bring other men. Like, it's really more about you getting in the flow, so that when you see someone at an event, there's a lot of people around them, and it feels very high status, you're like, who am I to talk to them? You don't care. And that's really, I think, the major lesson everyone learned there.
yeah, that's a huge barrier for most of the guys, and it's just to realize, hey, they can crack it easy without any issues. Nobody is going to kill them when they talk to them. Some people want to talk, some not, and if not, you are in a night, in an evening environment, you just keep going, because there are so many people on the street you can talk to in different bars, clubs, different venues. So it's just to having the abundance, just keeping going, and don't think too much about it. I think that's like one of the big takeaways. And also I think was a big takeaways of most of the guys And it's then to create this momentum, and that's what we are doing currently. We are creating momentum, which is also one big part of building a social circle. So you keep putting in the reps, you go out to the right places, you keep the momentum going, so you can constantly work on your social circle and make things happen. One quick story from my side. So was I was going for a walk on it was on Thursday night, and I was walking through to East Village, and then suddenly this guy comes toward me. And who is this guy? It was one guy from that we met on the boat, on the fashion boat party. So if you watch one of the previous episodes, where we talked about when we were invited to a boat fashion show, and one of the guys, I suddenly ran into him. And then he said, "Hey, he's going to check out some places if I want to join." And then I kept along, and he showed me a lot different places around East Village, around Lower East Side, and it was a lot of fun. And then the day after, he invited me out to an event in New Jersey. So I actually went to New Jersey, kind of checking out. And this guy is friend of the organizer that organized the boat show. And eventually the organizer of the boat show also came out to meet us at night. So this is like what I'm talking about, creating these connections. And I mean, it was kind of random at some point, but then bringing, let's say, everybody together again, that's like what it is about, building momentum. Turns out that he has, like, I talked to him, he has a lot of different contacts, of course in the fashion industry, to models, also to venues that might help us when we are doing our event. So he also told me he's a fan of our vlog. So he probably knows when he's watching this that we're talking about him, so we can say hello. And that's all it's about. And I think it's also then you know the guy. It's also a good connection that you get back in touch to him, because our next big thing what we are planning is to organize our first big event. John is a little bit more involved into the planning, like venues, and looking more on the concept. Can you tell more about what you are doing right now for our first event?
Sure. So the thing about these events, like, I was doing them in Lisbon, and there it was just a little, I think, easier to score the kind of event I wanted. Things were more condensed. So New York is presenting some challenges. But right now, like, we went from this big idea, and over time, Julian and I have just kind of brought it together to make it something smaller. So just for people to know that this is my advice for you for events: make as few moving pieces as possible. So what we're working on is a very high-class dinner at a very nice venue in New York City. And I don't want to give away too much of it just yet, but where we were just going to get a place and maybe a DJ and then have a chef come in, what we've moved to is go to a place that already has the chef, that already has the wine selection, that already has the food, and so you just do a prefix menu. So what we're doing is planning on inviting all the amazing people that we've met and bringing them together for a night that is going to be really nice and really elegant. As well, we're going to do a place that's nicely aesthetic for content. So if you bring models or high status people who have an Instagram presence, this is very important, because this is what helps them say yes, and they get a lot of value out of going to a place like this. So there's like good photography, things like that. So I'm working on closing on the venue this week, hopefully within a day or two. And then we're going to get photographers. And then once we have that, we got to start filling it up with people, which involves sending out invites. And so hopefully by next week, we actually have a little bit more detail on what that is. But, here in New York, there's a lot of competition for spaces. Yeah. And since we're just starting out, it's always a good idea to go to a place that has it all in one first, versus getting all these different pieces and trying to get them to move together. And Julian and I have talked about, because we go to a lot of different events, the logistics and the spaces. So we're very mindful, if you put a lot of people in the same space, how do they move through that space? How do they come in? Where do they go eat? Where are we going to present? Are we able to put up a step and repeat? Things like that. So just working through all those moving pieces right now. And so what we want to do is de-risk it by getting as much of it contained in the same space on one payment, as it were, on one like check, invoice, I don't know what you call it, but like, putting it all in one space and making sure it's taken care of so that we can focus then on bringing the right people in.
Yeah, exactly. And also one part then of the social circle building is of course like a curated guest list of people we want to have on the event, people that we want to connect with, and that where it comes part more of the CRM database that we have to then send out invite to the right people. First of all, people we already met in our first weeks where we will be since we are here, and then also people that we want to network with that we probably haven't met yet but we have in our database. And with high value event like this, we are providing value and they are more motivated to come out because it's a very prestigious or high value event that they are interested in, and they see us then, okay, well, we actually want to network with these guys, but also there are coming other people to the event that makes it worth them to come out because they want to network with these people. So we are connecting everybody together, and that's the essence of social circle. And I'm pretty excited for this one, especially here in New York, and see how it goes. We'll take you along the whole journey with the planning process. So yeah, I'm really, really excited. And one thing is then, of course, using a lot of contacts that we made already, contacts that Jordan already has, in order to get these people together and provide them a concept that they want, that they like, and that's why they will come out to our event.
Yes, and like the most important thing in event planning is to remember that it's not about you. Like, we're putting this on for a community. Now, it's a community that we're developing, but we really think that they have a lot to share with each other. So what we're going to do is give them a space where they can gather and enjoy themselves by knowing what motivates them and the things that they like. And by doing that, you become a very valuable person, but we're not doing it necessarily to become valuable people. But in terms of building a social circle, like this is something that people aren't doing. They're waiting for others to invite them, to pay for things. And so if you become the person who brings people together and just gives them an unforgettable experience, then it's that much easier the next time for them to say, wow, I trust this person. I know what I'm going to get when I work with them and when I come out, and I know I'm going to have a good time. And, the other thing is, what would us going out in East Village have anything to do with the social circle? Well, if you want to become a good host, right, you need to know how to talk to people. So when people come in, because you've done all that practicing, talking to new people, bring groups together, oh, this is my friend, as I did that one night. Oh, you're from California, my friend's from California. Oh, you speak German, Julian speaks German. Because you do all that, it becomes very easy to become a host. So we're always trying to bring people together as much as possible, whether that's out at the nightclubs or out in our own events.
100%. And also like the leveraging each other's network. Let's say your network, what you already know, what you have built up since you're here, my network, what I built up here. We're having also these weekly meetups with other like-minded, ambitious guys, and there, we just leveraging the contacts we are making. And there's actually one thing I forgot to tell you, that I got also a tip. Do you know Oktoberfest?
Yeah, I know Oktoberfest. There's a big one. There's several big ones in New York, but I feel like there's the big one.
Yeah, there's like a cool one happening in the financial district in this weekend, and I'm gonna check out there because there definitely gonna be some cool people to network with, 100%, and and finding out these huh?
Will it be too American for you? Will it be too American?
I will find out.
Okay.
I will find out, but I can go as German and then I kind of say, "Hey, what are you doing here? Like, you're trying to do Oktoberfest." But it's. I think it will be funny to see how Americans are celebrating Oktoberfest. Yeah, so I'm curious, but I think it's also like a different where we haven't been that much so far. I think we haven't been out yet, or I haven't been out yet, let's say in the financial district or somewhere. So it will be a kind of different crowd to kind of see what's going on over there. So I think that's also good, another good point to network, get new contacts in the city. And then go from there. Also, what I'm curious is after the challenge, after last week, how would you say your confidence and approach and consistency have shifted week by week since we are here?
Well, I definitely do it a lot more. I still don't go out for like hours at a time, specifically with the focus. Some of that's just because I have unexpected things. Like I was going to go out here for an hour and then it just kind of I had a long meeting call, but I am going to go out tonight to karaoke, which is something I usually do when I'm in Ventura Beach. So, really, it's almost rather than also just rely on these specific times to go and chat with people, I just now make it a habit to chat with everyone. Okay, so if you're there and I see you as a target, I'm gonna go up and say hi to you. How are you doing? I would say 9 times out of 10, people are very interested in talking. And if they're not, you never really know why. I think sometimes it's clear I'm a guy stopping, a group of girls on the street, but then I don't say, oh, you're so beautiful, all that. I just say, hey, I'm new in the area. What places do you recommend? And then I use that as a launch pad just to chat. So it's not like I'm out here trying to date anyone, but I am trying to become better at just chatting with everyone, especially if I had in the past, which is true, I was too scared to talk to women, generally scared of talking to everyone, but also women in particular, then I need to go and talk to them because I need to practice it. It's just the facts. So I just try to use every moment when I'm out. So last night I went out to go get dinner, and I just thought if people walk by me, I'm going to chat with them. Again, where I'm at, it's a bit sleepy, so I'm not exclusive. If you look interesting, you look like you have something to say, I'll stop and talk to you. But I think before I might have just talked to the what would be easy targets, as it were. Now I'm just trying to talk to everyone, and especially the people who I would have been nervous about. Now, all that being said, I'm at the airport, I chat with people. On the plane, I chat with the person next to me, no matter what they look like. Chat with the stewards and stewardesses. I always say good morning, and then I've started asking them, how long have you been awake for? What's your day like? Where have you been? Even if it's just really fast and we're going to the seat. I went to a gas station yesterday. I chatted with the person behind the counter, and there was people who were starting to line up, and I got a little nervous, maybe I'm annoying them. So I just turned to the people. I'm like, I'm sorry, we're just chatting. And then they joined in. They're like, oh, you should check this place out. This place has a great breakfast. So, and then we didn't get to chat on Friday before I left, or it was Saturday. I went to this big group, and I went, they had this it was a social media boot camp type thing. So then I went downstairs, and I was in this coffee shop. So I started chatting with the guy behind the counter, and then there's these group of ladies who were just talking about what their son does, and they couldn't remember, so I said supply chain. They're like, oh, so then I got them talking, and then this group of girls walks in, and then I start talking to them. I'm like, this place has the best cookie, and then I got them all chatting, and I'm like, all right, see everyone, and the whole room is saying goodbye to me. So I had a lot of fun just bringing the whole groups together. And I used to be so shy and not be able to do this. And while there are some things that they fall flat, they don't really land, what I've realized is you just kind of keep barreling through, keep bringing all that anxiety that I hold in my chest. And now I see it as my job to give that energy to the other person. I don't want to give them anxiety, but I'm just going to give you that energy that I'm holding within me. So yeah, good progress.
And especially connecting people with each other provide a lot of value, because it's not happen every day, and people are always grateful for connections. And if you do it in a calibrated way, people just find it funny, and they are then down to chat, down to connect, and that's what it is all about. I know everyone feels stuck at first, but momentum builds if you keep pushing. And it's not about being perfect. It's about showing up and stacking these small wins. And I would say the closing message for today is momentum isn't luck. It's designed through systems, consistency, and positioning.
That's right. I'm living proof of that. momentum is very important, because when I was giving people business advice, I'd always say momentum is like the safeguard against self-sabotage. So when the momentum is strong enough, then that those tailwinds push you so hard that it's hard to self-sabotage. So even when you make mistakes, even when you're like, I don't want to do this, people come knocking on your door because you made that impression, because you put on those events, and they're expecting you to do more. And with that momentum behind you, it's so much easier to build. So get that momentum as soon as possible, and those bad habits that you have are going to just basically be overrun by that momentum.
100% agree. Next week, when you are back at it, or let's say during this week, so the weekend should be pretty cool. And then next week we give you new updates. And until then, like, subscribe, comment, and do everything what's needed.
Join our community. Like, if you want to know what's going on, you want to ask us questions, we're up in the community. So go in there, ask us questions,
Yeah. And we help you out with everything you have. You can ask the best weather tips for London.